Earth is so unbelievably wild that if we tried to understand every detail of this planet, our brains would probably fry like an overloaded circuit. Some places are so remote, so dangerous, or so tightly controlled that even if you spent tens of thousands of dollars, collected a mountain of permits, and risked your entire lifespan, you'd still never set foot there. And what's crazier, some of these places aren't even far away. They're just off limits to regular humans, like Area 51 tucked right inside Nevada. Today we're going on a journey across the planet to uncover the most unreachable, forbidden, dangerous, mysterious, and straight-up mind-blowing places on Earth. Buckle up, this one's a ride. 1. Nahanni National Park Reserve, Canada's Valley of the Headless Men. In the far northwest of Canada, hidden under blankets of fog, cliffs, and untouched forest, sits an enormous protected region called Nahanni National Park Reserve. It's unbelievably beautiful, mountains, crystal rivers, and a massive waterfall taller than Niagara. But the beauty isn't the reason it's famous. People call it the Valley of the Headless Men. And the story behind that name, yeah, it's as creepy as it sounds. When British explorers reached this valley about a century ago, they found 2 indigenous men dead, their heads missing. To this day, no one knows who did it or why it happened. Some say rival tribes, some say criminals, some say something else entirely, but the indigenous communities consider the valley sacred and they wanted it protected. Canada listened and completely locked the place down. There are no roads, no trails, no rough tracks, no horse paths. You can't hike, you can't drive, you can't even sneak in unless you're a trained environmental specialist with rare access. And even if you were allowed, you'd still need to pay thousands for a helicopter just to get close. This place remains one of the most untouched landscapes in all of North America, and maybe the entire planet. 2. Surtsey Island, the baby island born in 1963. Now we're flying across the ocean to Iceland, home of volcanoes, glaciers, and one of the newest islands on Earth, Surtsey. Surtsey is special because humans weren't around to create it or shape it. It wasn't built by erosion or ancient lava. It rose from the ocean's floor right in front of humanity's eyes. In 1963, fishermen watched smoke rising from the sea. At first, they thought a ship exploded, but soon the ocean literally opened and fire erupted out. A massive underwater volcano was giving birth to land. And it didn't stop. That volcano erupted for 4 straight years, piling lava on top of lava until a brand new island emerged. Scientists around the world were stunned. For the first time ever, humans could watch exactly how a landmass forms from zero. Today, Surtsey is like a giant open-air laboratory. Scientists use it to study how life appears on untouched land, how plants arrive, how insects settle, how ecosystems start from nothing. But here's the strict part. No tourists, no hikers, no explorers, nobody. Only scientists with permits may enter. If a researcher visits, Iceland requires them to bring a sealed waste container and take every drop of waste, liquid or solid, off the island. Yes, even that. You can't leave a single piece of DNA behind. That's how pure they want this place. 3. The Pitcairn Islands, the community of 35 people. Deep in the South Pacific lies a tiny cluster of 4 volcanic islands called the Pitcairn Islands. Out of the 4, only one is inhabited, by 35 people total. Not 35,000, not 3,500, just 35. This is one of the most isolated communities on Earth. Getting there is a nightmare. No airport, no deep water port. The coastline is filled with razor-sharp volcanic rock. Any ship that gets too close risks being torn apart. The only way to reach the island is by hand-rowed longboats, traditional Polynesian canoes with no motors. Cargo ships anchor far out in deep water, and the islanders row back and forth with supplies. If a tourist arrives, they do the same. And who are these 35 islanders? They're Polynesians, part of the culture that spread across the Pacific thousands of years ago, discovering islands one by one from Hawaii to New Zealand. For them, this is home. For everyone else, it's almost impossible to reach. 4. Oymyakon, Siberia, the coldest permanently inhabited town on Earth. Now we move to the opposite of tropical paradise, the coldest town on Earth, Oymyakon, Russia. This place is so cold it makes your freezer look like a warm jacuzzi. Temperatures drop to minus 67.7 degrees Celsius, minus 90 degrees Fahrenheit, and some locals claim it hit minus 71 degrees Celsius, the same temperature as the surface of Mars. The cold is brutal because the town sits inside a valley surrounded by mountains that trap freezing air inside like a giant bowl. Even in summer, warm wind can't enter. The population used to be around 2,500. Now it's only about 900. Getting there, almost impossible. No airport. Planes can't safely maneuver there. No real highway. During winter, travelers drive across frozen landscapes using GPS. And once you arrive, you must keep your car running. If you turn it off, the engine freezes solid and never starts again. In this town, people don't walk quickly. They shuffle so their lungs don't inhale air that's too cold. Pens don't write, eyeglasses freeze to your face, and boiling water thrown into the air turns instantly into snow. This place redefines what remote truly means. 5. The Empty Quarter, Arabia's moving desert. From freezing hell to burning hell, the Rub al-Khali, or Empty Quarter, is the largest sand desert on Earth, a place so desolate that its name literally means empty. This region of Saudi Arabia, Oman, and the UAE is filled with skyscraper-sized dunes that move constantly. A dune in front of you today, tomorrow it might be miles away. Temperatures are brutal, scorching summers, freezing nights, violent sandstorms, zero water sources. No town can survive here. The only humans you'll see are nomadic tribes crossing through, not living in it. This is the closest thing we have to an alien planet on Earth. 6K2, the Mountain of Death. Finally, on the border of Pakistan and China, rises K2, the second highest mountain in the world, and the deadliest. Everest is taller, but K2 is a beast. It's so vertical that climbers don't hike, they climb walls of ice. Here's the terrifying part. On Everest, 1% of climbers die. On K2, 20% die. That means 1 out of every 5 people who try never come back. K2 is unpredictable. The slopes are steep, icy, and unstable. Avalanches strike without warning, and even reaching base camp requires days of extreme trekking. In 2025 so far, only 42 climbers have reached the top, and a few of them paid the ultimate price. But why do people climb it? What's at the top? Honestly, probably the world's coldest selfie opportunity, and maybe a frozen Snickers bar someone left behind. But no, seriously, there's nothing up there. People don't climb K2 for the view. They climb it because humans crave impossible challenges. For them, the summit is pure achievement, pure adrenaline, pure glory.